Thank you very much, Ambassador. Bonsoir tout le monde. The President Sheinbaum and President Trump and I were talking as the draw is coming up. I don't think they'll mind. Gianni might mind I tell this story, but I'm going to tell the story anyway. It's too late now. I got to tell the story. And Paraguay comes up. Paraguay gets picked. And I said, "Whoa, Paraguay, they're good. They're good. But don't worry. Don't worry, President Trump says, okay, so they're good." And I said, "But don't worry, they're not, no, they won't be, because they're supposed to be, you're D, so they'll be in C. And then one of the rules kicks in and they get moved over to D. So Paraguay's in the U.S. And the president's like, "Well, that's not good." And I was like, "Don't worry. These are just recommendations. We have to sign off on them." I don't think. Gianni was not. He didn't find that as funny as the rest of us did. And we, this is about the beautiful game. It's about the world coming together, sharing values. It's about peace as well. And that's true. It is such a unifying event. It is also about winning, though, and there is an element of winning. The holidays bring in to perspective the ties that we have, the ties of families, the ties across borders, the ties of friendship, and the common values that we share. And I can think of no better event to bring together the values that football represents, the beautiful game, the values that the holidays represent, and the values that Canada, the United States, and Mexico share. We will be welcoming the world in the shape of 45 teams. We've already welcomed ourselves. We'll welcome 45 teams. We are looking forward in Canada, assuming that the draw stays the same. Gianni might have missed that bit of the speech. Assuming the draw stays the same, Canada will be welcoming Qatar, which put on an absolutely extraordinary World Cup just under 4 years ago. Well, 3 years ago, I guess it was, right? 3 years ago exact, yeah. I had the privilege of being there and had the privilege of seeing Alphonso Davies' goal. Yeah, Yo is right. That's what I said. Actually, I didn't know my Apple Watch could go to 200 beats a minute, but it did when it went in. But we welcoming Qatar, Switzerland, and a team to be determined later. That could be Italy. Could be Italy, could be Wales, could be Northern Ireland, could be Bosnia, right? Wow. Okay, whoever shows up, they're going to be fantastic.
Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney just dropped a FIFA World Cup speech so unexpectedly sharp, funny, and politically clever that half the room leaned in like it was a championship kickoff. He roasted, inspired, teased, and united the crowd in one of the most surprising World Cup political moments we've seen in years. Today, we're breaking down the 10 biggest moments from Carney's headline-grabbing remarks, and trust me, each one hits harder than the last. Carney kicked off his remarks with a hilarious story about Paraguay landing in the same World Cup group as Canada. He joked with President Trump that Paraguay was good, but not worryingly good, while hinting that he'd tried swapping groups like it was a seeding chart. The crowd cracked up, but FIFA's president wasn't thrilled, which somehow made Carney dig deeper into the joke. The moment instantly set the tone. This wasn't a stiff diplomatic speech. This was Carney running comedy hour at a global football draw. And from that comedic kickoff, Carney flipped the mood fast. After the jokes, Carney shifted into philosopher mode, describing football as the world's strongest cultural bridge. He said the sport had a unique ability to pull nations together, creating a shared language built from joy, respect, and competition. His framing made the World Cup sound like the planet's biggest family reunion, minus the awkward politics and overcooked casseroles. He insisted that nations didn't just show up to compete, they arrived to connect, learn, and build something bigger than the scoreboard. And then he went even deeper and a bit sentimental. He compared football to the holiday season, highlighting how the sport builds family-style connection across cultures. He said football represents generosity, unity, and excitement, the same emotional spark people feel during celebrations and big traditions. His tone was warm but firm, making it clear he believed football wasn't just entertainment, it was a global ritual. The idea landed powerfully in the room, reminding everyone that every nation shares the same heartbeat when that whistle blows. And then Carney widened the spotlight to North America itself. He highlighted the shared values, friendships, and histories binding Canada, the United States, and Mexico. He praised the trio for stepping up together to host the 2026 World Cup, calling it a continental handshake that showcased unity far beyond borders. He framed the tournament as one massive invitation to the world, delivered by three nations ready to host with pride. It wasn't just a speech, it was Carney auditioning to become the official hype man for an entire hemisphere.
But we will have fun, we will enjoy, you will enjoy, the whole of Canada will enjoy, of course the United States and Mexico as well. The World Cup will be an occasion to bring people together, to unite the world, and your Prime Minister knows better than anyone else that our world needs occasions to bring people together, to spend time together, to know each other a little bit, to celebrate, to party, and as my brother Vittorio always says, you know, never miss a chance for a good party, and the best parties are in Canada. I love that.
Then he switched gears and talked about his own football story. Carney recalled traveling to Qatar for the 2022 tournament, where he watched Alphonso Davies score Canada's first ever World Cup goal. He described his reaction like a sports dad who just witnessed a miracle, saying his heart rate hit 200 beats per minute. It was heartfelt but also funny, showing a leader fully invested in his country's football journey. His excitement reminded fans that this World Cup isn't just politics, it's personal to millions. But next came the mystery that had everyone guessing. Carney teased Canada's group lineup for 2026, facing Qatar, Switzerland, and a wildcard team still undetermined. He rattled off possible contenders like Italy, Northern Ireland, Bosnia, and Wales, treating each possibility like a cliffhanger reveal in a reality show. His playful suspense turned the draw into a dramatic guessing game, building excitement for whichever nation takes the final slot. He reassured everyone that no matter who shows up, Canada would greet them with hospitality, energy, and serious competitive fire. Then he zoomed out to the big picture. Carney described the 2026 World Cup as the largest North American celebration in decades, a massive, continent-spanning block party stretching from Vancouver to Mexico City. He quoted the saying, "Never miss a good party," proudly adding that the best ones happen in Canada. It was part humor, part national flex, and fully effective at amping up the audience. He framed the tournament as one massive invitation to the world, delivered by three nations ready to host with pride. It wasn't just a speech, it was Carney auditioning to become the official hype man for an entire hemisphere. Then Carney got reflective, surprisingly reflective. He emphasized that in a world filled with division and conflict, moments like the World Cup serve as global reminders of unity. Carney framed football as more than a game, calling it a cultural rally point that lets people set aside differences and meet as equals. He argued that humanity benefits when nations come together not for politics, but for celebration and mutual respect. It was a subtle, powerful hint about what diplomacy could look like if every country adopted football's spirit. Then came one of Carney's strongest emotional moments. Carney praised Canada's identity as a diverse, welcoming nation built from many cultures. He said the World Cup perfectly represents what Canada stands for: openness, unity, and shared humanity. His words carried an uplifting tone, turning a sporting event into a symbol of global belonging. He made it clear that hosting the tournament wasn't just a duty, it was an honor Canada embraced wholeheartedly. And Carney saved his flashiest finale for last. To close the speech, he delivered a full countdown, literally hyping the room with a dramatic 10, 9, 8 until the crowd joined in. It transformed his remarks into a literal kickoff moment, blending excitement, pride, and anticipation. By the end, it felt like a stadium pregame ritual rather than a political address. The countdown wasn't for show. It was a symbolic declaration that North America's World Cup era officially begins now. And now it's your turn to join the countdown. If you're pumped for the 2026 World Cup or just impressed by Carney's unexpectedly electrifying speech, Hit the like button, drop your predictions in the comments, and subscribe for more sharp, high-energy breakdowns right here on HOA War.
Are you ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo!